what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys tonight. First up, the results of the 2023 Mr. Big Evolution Weekend. So, not a super surprising result here. This went pretty much exactly how we expected. Andrea Presti wound up winning here. In second place, you had Roman Fritz. In third place, Emir Omaragic. And in fourth place, you had Christian Wolski. And then Peter Clancy wound up taking fifth here. Now, Lionel Bayecki, also a big topic of conversation. He did end up placing ninth, which was last place at this show. But first and foremost, congratulations to Andrea Presti on the victory, but also the Olympia qualification here. He really deserved it. He looked fantastic at the show. I think it was a hands-down win for him. Looking at the scorecards, it was unanimous at prejudging and unanimous at final. So a well-rounded victory for him here all around. And I'll be interested to see how he ends up placing at the Olympia this year. I think the biggest thing he really needs to bring up is just his lower body. He's got an incredible upper body, crazy delts, really wide back, pretty good midsection for such a big guy. But I think the legs is the only thing that's really undersized. And to be really competitive at the Olympia, I think that's the main thing he needs to bring up. But his conditioning here was great. One of the better packages we've seen from him so far as conditioning goes. Very conditioned. And he was just runner-up to Michael Krizo a few weeks ago. So I think we've got some big things in store for Andrea Presti. Now, next up in the news, Hassan Mostafa will continue to compete. So I was happy to see this post from Hassan. It looks like he hasn't let these two runner-up placings discourage him too much. It looks like he will be competing in next weekend's Vancouver Pro Show. But he does also say in this post that this will be his third and final show for this season. So I'm guessing that's dependent on whether or not he qualifies for the Olympia. I'm assuming if he qualifies for the Olympia, that will be his fourth show of the year. I'm assuming he would not skip the Olympia if he does win and qualify. But it looks like if he doesn't win in Vancouver, he's going to be shutting it down and going back to the drawing board. So we should probably be getting the Vancouver Pro Show competitor list any day now, probably tomorrow. I'm not really sure yet who else is doing it that we've seen compete recently. I think Stanimal's doing it, who was just third behind him in last weekend's Orlando Pro. But as far as how Hassan looks in this update, I think he looks a little bit too full. What we've seen from him recently, obviously a ton of muscle, obviously an overwhelmingly muscular bodybuilder. But in this update, you can see, if you look at his midsection, you can see that his midsection looks really kind of cloudy, not very separated. It looks kind of distended here. Obviously, his upper body looks crazy. His delts, his chest, his arms look crazy round and full. But we need to see drier from Hassan. I think the thing that really cost him at the last show was conditioning. I think, honestly, in Toronto, he looked fantastic, and I think you could have made a strong argument for him beating Ian Valliere at the Toronto Pro. And I think it was close, obviously, between him and Phil Klahar with that, what they call it, the relative placing tie. But I think if Hassan had been just a little bit sharper in Orlando, he would have beaten Phil. I think Phil beat him on conditioning, obviously not on overall muscle mass, even though Phil's a pretty big guy. So I think if Hassan tightens up, dries out a little bit for this show, works on his posing a little bit. I felt like he was a little bit shaky, didn't hold the poses as long as he could have in Orlando specifically. I think he could squeak out a win here. I really want to see him do well. I think, like I said, he brought a really good package to Toronto. I want to see him on the Olympia stage. I hate the fact that he was excluded from last year's Olympia because of his health condition. And he's past that now, and he's doing well. So I hope that we don't see him make the same mistake in Vancouver as I think we saw him make in Orlando. He just came in a little bit too big, too full, and he sacrificed his conditioning for that. And I think he's got all the muscle in the world. He doesn't need to come in any fuller. If he came in just dry, crisp, crazy conditioning, he would have no problem winning this show. I would say pound for pound, overall muscularity, he's probably one of the most muscular bodybuilders in the IFBB right now. It just comes down to conditioning and then shape with that midsection kind of throws it off. But if he's in crazy enough conditioning, I don't think it's going to matter. So I'm excited to see Hassan back on stage, and hopefully he doesn't go 3 for 3 runner-up position at all 3 shows. I would really like to see him get some redemption here, look fantastic, and pull out a win. So best wishes to Hassan, and I hope he does well. Now, next up in the news, a recent physique update from Hunter Labrada. This is from a guest posing, so this is pre-guest posing, then he did an actual guest posing. I think Hunter is looking phenomenal. Honestly, I think he looks a lot tighter, a lot drier here than we saw him at the Pittsburgh show. You can see his hamstrings are starting to come in. His midsection looks pretty good here. That's been a thing that a lot of people have been criticizing, was the midsection. He's going to be competing in August, so he's competing relatively soon, within the next month or so. And he's doing both Tampa and Texas. And while I don't know who all is going to be showing up to the Tampa show as far as big names, we know that Andrew Jacked is most likely doing the Texas Pro. So that should be an interesting show for Hunter to do. Him versus Andrew Jacked. If he beats Andrew, I think that's a really big feather in his cap after the version of Andrew that we saw at the Arnold Classic being, I think, much better than the Olympia. But honestly, I'm impressed with how Hunter looks here. I think a lot of people have kind of written him off because he dropped pretty substantially in placings this year at the Olympia from his 4th place finish in 2021. But I wouldn't write Hunter Labrada off just yet. He's definitely still first call out at the Olympia material. He could be right back in that conversation. I think what we're seeing from him right now is exactly what people want to see. He's keeping his midsection tight. His conditioning looks on point here, even though he's still like a month away from competing. I think it might be exactly a month today from Tampa. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I know Hunter Labrada, for some reason, has been kind of a controversial, a polarizing, I guess, bodybuilder. A lot of people love him. A lot of people don't like his physique. I've noticed quite a bit of negativity towards Hunter Labrada in some of the comment sections. So what's your feeling on Hunter Labrada's physique, his trajectory at the Olympia? How do you think he's going to place this year? Do you think, I mean, there's a chance he doesn't qualify. I'm assuming he's going to because he's that good of a bodybuilder. But I suppose there is a chance that he doesn't win a show and qualify. Do you think that's possible? But if he does, assuming he does qualify, do you think he'll do better at the Olympia this year than he did last year? And do you think you could ever see him coming back into that 4th place position or better? Now, next up in the news, another guest posing here, this one from Keone Pearson. And I want to thank Keone for sending me over this video. Keone, I think, looks incredible here. You actually get to see him in posing trunks now. Just, I mean, relative to some of the updates that we've seen from him in the gym, he still has pants on. I think his legs actually look improved here. His quads, to me, look bigger from the side. They look thicker, that glute hamstring tie-in. He just looks overall very, very improved. And keep in mind, this is a guest posing. He is going to be competing soon, but at this guest posing, he's got like crazy striated hamstrings. Well, I'm not going to say crazy, but he's got striated hamstrings. And while his quads look bigger, they're very separated. His physique overall looks bigger than the last time we saw him on stage at the Olympia. He looks like he's added significant quality size here. I really liked his posing routine overall. That's one of the things that I like about Keone is these classic attributes of his physique. He really knows how to emphasize them with a posing routine like this one. So overall, I think there's some very exciting things on the horizon for some of these young up-and-coming bodybuilders like Keone. In 212, we just had this Stefan Matala, got second at this show. I think a lot of potential for him in classic physique. And you've got these open guys, Carlos Thomas Jr., Good Vito. I think we're really entering a great new era of bodybuilding. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's going to wrap it up. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, click that bell notification icon if you did, in fact, enjoy the video and enjoy the content. That would help out a lot. And as always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.